Hey guys, Jeremy Parvin here. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I've created a passive income stream of over $50,000 a month in rental income. My portfolio is worth over $6.5 million. I've done all this while working a full-time job, and I'm going to teach you how you can do it too. So if you're thinking about getting started in real estate, one of the things that might come to mind is, how am I going to handle phone calls in the middle of the night with broken water pipes? Or how am I going to maintain these properties without it taking a lot of my weekends, or without me learning how to repair and fix all these things around a house? I've got a few hints and tips to get you off on the right start. I'll show you how to get organized, leverage technology, keep it simple, and so you can spend time on your day job or acquiring additional properties. One of those things is prevention. You need to have a maintenance service call fee in your lease. You need to have a good heating and air company and pre-approve your properties and have an annual maintenance agreement. You need to have a cloud-based spreadsheet with all your current tenant contact info and the property info in them, so that you can share this with your heating and air company, your maintenance professionals. You need a recurring maintenance checklist. You need a cloud-based ongoing maintenance list, and you need a good maintenance contractor. Oh, and Lily is still on vacation, but she wanted me to remind you to please hit the smash button if you like this video. Each time you do that and forward this to others and subscribe, you'll be entered to win a chance to win one pair of Apple AirPod Pros that we're giving away to one of our first 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for your support. Okay, so let's get into it. So in your lease agreement, you simply need to make a simple clause that says there's a $50 maintenance service call for each maintenance item. And I like to highlight this when I'm reviewing the lease with tenants. I tell them that I waive this for the first 30 days while I get everything working if they have any trouble. And then after that, it's $50 for each item. I let them know that it's really important to me because it helps me to keep my costs down, and in return I keep their rental increases down. The next thing is heating and air conditioning. That's one thing that when that goes down, you're getting a phone call. It's very important. I recommend contacting a local heating and air conditioning company, telling them that you are a landlord or thinking about becoming a landlord, and asking them if you could simply have your property address or addresses pre-approved. You're going to give the tenant their contact information, and the tenant will contact them directly whenever their heating and air goes out. They'll come there and they'll repair things, and you can pre-approve. I do up to $500. They don't even call me. They just do it and send me the invoice electronically through email. If it's over that, they call me and we discuss it, or they'll send me a quote, something like that. When I'm reviewing the lease with the tenants, I tell them that. The other thing I do with my heating and air company is I have negotiated lower rates for them to come and maintain my units, clean them, check the pressure and that sort of thing during their off season. So it gives their guys some work, and in return they give me a cheaper rate. They typically do this in the spring, and then when the summer comes and these units are working at peak capacity, that's generally when they fail. So by taking care of this before the peak season hits, you save money and you don't have outages during that peak season where it's very hard to get them to come and work on it. In the beginning, I didn't pay for regular annual maintenance on my units, and I would have a lot of outages. I do recommend doing annual maintenance on your heating and air conditioning systems. So those first two items will minimize a significant amount of your maintenance issues. Another thing I do is remove the garbage disposals. Another preventative thing that I do is I send an email to my tenants twice a year, generally spring and fall, with a few basic preventative maintenance things for them to do, as well as letting them know that I'm going to have my team come out there and do a few things, and to be expecting them and to please let them come in the house and that sort of thing. For example, in the fall, we'll clean the gutters out. I'll typically have my maintenance guy go inside and kind of touch all the plumbing to make sure it's not wet underneath, and also just to kind of see that the tenants are taking good care of the property as well. I'll ask the tenants in the email to trim back any landscaping a foot off the property, off the siding, open the crawl space vents in the summer and close them in the fall. Ask them to check the dehumidifiers if we have those underneath the house, or sump pumps, to make sure they're working properly. In the fall, I ask the tenants if they'd like to do grass overseeding, and then I'll reimburse them for the seed. I mentioned freeze prevention by putting covers over the outside water faucet handles, and to remind them not to turn the heat off if they go out of town. Testing the smoke alarm batteries, and let me know if they have any water leaks, and there won't be any maintenance service fees for those. I'll have my maintenance guy check on those and a few other things. I'll also have him clean the gutters out, and while he's there, put some bug spray around the perimeter of the property. The other tip that I have is to make a cloud-based spreadsheet with two simple tabs. The first one is a simple list of the properties and the tenants that live in there, and then a date of the last time that I've done maintenance there. I try to get to each property at least once or twice a year. So I use Google Docs for this, and then I share this with my maintenance contractor, also also share this with my heating and air contractor. I'm recently doing a bank finance where they need to appraise the properties, and I've shared this with my bank as well. On the other tab, I have a recurring maintenance checklist for my contractor to put on a clipboard and to go out to each property. In this sheet, he writes the address at the top and then kind of checks something and makes some notes. He'll usually do several properties at a time. He'll bring these back to my office and we'll talk through them. The next thing I highly recommend is I have a cloud-based ongoing maintenance list. I do this with Apple Notes, and I also do it with Google Keep. I have an Apple phone, but my maintenance contractor has an Android. And so what I do is make a copy of this in my Apple Notes, simply select all and copy, and then I go over into a Google Keep and I paste it. If you do share this with someone, you could simply give them view only instead of edit access. I generally print this off and he'll mark through the things that he did and then give it back to me, and I'll update the master list once or twice a month. The last tip I want to give you is about having a good maintenance contractor or handyman. I received a question from subscriber Don B in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Don says, I've got a couple of properties and I would like to buy some more, but I don't have time to maintain more. What I recommend is to work towards not doing any of the maintenance yourself and to find some other people who can do it for you so that you can focus on doing the things that you need to do, the things that make you more money, and let people who are good at that do that. I completely recognize that most of us in the beginning can't afford to hire somebody to do the maintenance, and I was there as well, trust me. But if you want to make more than $15 or $20 or $25 an hour, you're going to have to do this. I constantly ask myself, why can't I let someone else do this? So you can go to Facebook Marketplace and just search on handyman. Oh, and here's a pro tip for you. If someone says they can do everything, I recommend that you maybe talk to about 5 or so people and ask them this question. What are some things that you like to do? And make a note of that in your phone. Ask them what are things you don't like to do and make a note of that. It's hard to be great at something you don't like. You may need to try out a few of these guys, and you might use some for some things and some for others. In general, these guys can do about 80% of the work that you need to have done before you have to call a licensed professional such as an electrician, a plumber, a heating and air person, or a licensed general contractor for that matter. When calling these contractors, I recommend using a video call so that you can read their nonverbal expressions and get a better feel for the person. Let them know that you're an investor and this is not a one-time shot, and that you're looking for a good long-term value and a relationship that you plan to build. Let them know that you might let them bid some things by the job, but you also want to get an hourly rate and what's a range that they might consider. Those are some key words, range that they would consider. The more you use the same contractor, they'll learn how you like to do things, and it'll be easy for you, and it'll be great for these contractors because they won't have to continuously go drum up work, and they don't have to waste a lot of time bidding jobs and those sort of things. So it's a nice trade-off for both of you. And back to those 2 a.m. broken water pipes. Once you find a person or some persons that you like, let them know that you'd like to keep them on your short list for the future, and let them know that you will need to count on them for emergencies. You rarely will need anything in the middle of the night, but if you get a broken water pipe or something like that on a weekend or after hours, that you'll need them to be there for you. I'm very blessed to have Terry. He will go out to my properties on nights and weekends with no questions asked. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And in summary, just get organized, leverage technology, use these cloud spreadsheets, work on some prevention by having a maintenance service fee in your lease, team up with a good heating and air company to pre-approve your properties with a $500 or so threshold that they can just repair these things without even calling you, and negotiate an off-season maintenance rate, make a recurring maintenance checklist, and make an ongoing maintenance list. Share this with your maintenance person, and find a good maintenance person if you've got one you like, or if you feel like you need to have a backup. I encourage you to continue that process. Please let me know in the comments below what other maintenance tips that you have, as well as any other suggestions. Thank you so much for your support with the channel. We're now over 200 hours of watch time, and we're almost over 300 subscribers. We would really appreciate you guys helping us get more subscribers by sending this to folks who you think would appreciate this material. Thank you so much, and until next time.